We have a subscriber question today. How exciting. This question comes from Jessica over at Savage Kitchen, which is a channel all about making very fancy schmancy cocktails. Let's roll her question.
Hey Jen, it's Jessica over at Savage Kitchen. I have a question for you about the threshold for monetization for YouTube. I'm at 30% of my goal as it relates to subscribers, but I'm only at 10% of my goal as it relates to watch hours. And so what I'm wondering is that important? And how can I even that out? Like, how can I get those watch hours up to match the pace of my subscribers?
Now, if you're not familiar with the requirements for monetization on YouTube, it's that you have to hit 1,000 subscribers and then have 4,000 watch hours in the past year. That's how you can get monetized on YouTube. So first, let me say that Jessica's situation is not uncommon. I think it's true for most people that they hit that subscriber threshold before they hit those 4,000 watch hours. And 4,000 watch hours, especially when you're first starting out, does sound like a lot. So let's talk about how we're going to get you to that 4,000 hour watch time mark. My first tip is a pretty simple one, and it's to make longer videos. Seriously, there's no easier way to get more watch time than to make longer videos. So look at your content critically now. Where can you add that length while still keeping it interesting? What can you show in more detail, or what can you explain in more detail? Now, in the case of Savage Kitchen, I checked out some of the videos on your channel, and I did spot in one video where I think you could add some length. You said that you had to shake a cocktail for 30 seconds, but then you cut away while you were shaking and then came back when you were finished. What if you showed that shaking on camera and made it funny, like adding some rocking dance moves, or maybe telling a story that's related to your cocktail? That could be a really easy, natural place for you to add some of that length. Now, if you have a question for me, I just want to let you know that you can ask me that question and I can answer it right here on my channel. Just record yourself asking the question, upload it to your own YouTube channel as unlisted, and then email me that unlisted link at jen@jennjager.com. My next tip is to increase your retention rates. That's how long someone stays watching on your video. Now, you have more control over this than you think. Here are a few tips for you. First, try to make content that has a payoff at the end that kind of like forces the viewer to keep watching your video. So a great example of this would be some sort of transformation, like a makeover, where if they want to see the end result, they have to keep watching to the end, or a tutorial where if they want to learn whatever it is you're teaching in the video, they have to keep watching. Another thing you can do is try to tease something that's coming up at the end of the video that's going to be really significant for the viewer. For instance, I have a really important tip at the end of this video, so you want to make sure you keep watching to see that tip. Another thing you can try is like a gimmick. So for instance, you see here Nikki Tutorials at the end of all of her videos, she teaches her viewers a word in Dutch. She calls it the Dutch word of the day. So if people are really into that feature, they stick around to the end of the video. Now for you could do, I don't know, maybe tell a joke and save the punchline for the end of the video. I don't know, get creative, but that is a model that you can use to increase your retention rates. The other thing you want to do is take a long, hard look at your retention graphs here in YouTube Analytics. You can find this in Analytics by selecting a particular video, selecting Analytics, and then clicking Engagement at the top of your screen. So now take a look at this graph and look for any points where you're always seeing a consistent drop off. How can you remedy that? Now, in the case of Savage Kitchen, and this is pure speculation because I have not seen your metrics, so I have no idea. I'm just like, riffing here. But what if because of the cocktails that you make have a lot of very exotic ingredients that a viewer clicks on your thumbnail, starts watching the video, and then says, I don't have that in my liquor cabinet, clicks out and tries to find a creator with some more common ingredients. So if you're seeing that being an issue in your retention on your videos, maybe at that point suggest alternatives that people can swap out with more common ingredients. My next tip is to make sure you remember to ask people to subscribe. Now, I know we're talking about watch hours in this video and not really focused on upping your subscriber count, but those two are related and you can't really disconnect them. Think about what happens when you subscribe to a new channel. All of a sudden, YouTube starts suggesting older videos from that channel all over your homepage on YouTube, right? So if you get new subscribers, this is a way for you to get a lot more mileage out of videos you've created in the past and really get more watch time without doing more work. Now, of course, right now is the perfect time for me to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you're learning something. My next tip is to share your YouTube video across all of your social media platforms by copying the direct link to that YouTube video and posting it to, let's say, Facebook or LinkedIn. Now, you would do this as opposed to uploading natively to those platforms. And what that means is that you would take like the MP4 file that you made and upload it to Facebook or LinkedIn. Instead, what you're going to do is copy the link from YouTube and post it in a Facebook or LinkedIn post so that when people watch the video, they will be watching it actually on the YouTube platform and you will be accruing those watch hours. Now, fair warning here, LinkedIn and Facebook don't like when you do this because it takes people on their platform and brings them to YouTube, and that's not what they want. So they probably won't show your post to as many of your connections as they would if you had uploaded it natively, but who cares? If you're really trying to hit those 4,000 watch hours, post that link. And my last tip for you is to use the power of playlists. Grouping your individual videos together into playlists that make sense because the topics are common is so powerful. Now, to do this, go to YouTube Analytics and select the Playlist tab, and then select New Playlist here in the top right corner. Give your playlist a title and hit Create. And now your empty playlist appears on your playlist list as a gray thumbnail. So you want to click that gray thumbnail and add in a keyword-rich description. Now click these three little dots and select Add Videos. Click your YouTube videos in the pop-up box and select which of your videos you want to add to this playlist. You can select multiple playlists by holding the Shift key as you click. Now, by doing this, you're telling YouTube what of your content belongs together. So when someone watches one of the videos from that playlist, YouTube might recommend the rest of those videos from that playlist to that viewer, of course, increasing your watch time. The other thing you want to do, and this is very, very important, is to actively promote those playlists in your videos. Tell your viewers you have an entire playlist about this topic and make sure they can access it by adding a card, let's say here, or an end screen to the end of your video. Now, as you guessed, I do have a whole playlist about earning money on YouTube. I'm going to link to it right here. Savage Kitchen, I hope I answered your question. Everyone, I'm going to link to Savage Kitchen's YouTube channel down in the description box so you can check it out yourself. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.